Like, I was kind of stalled for a while after I finished. Like, did a bunch of community theater shows. I was doing a lot of film and television and stuff in the background, and I wanted more. So I was sitting around. Actually, this was just 2 years ago now, and got an email from a director down at the Lighthouse Festival Theatre in Port Dover, and he said, "Hey, I have a role for you." And he'd been kind of keeping his eye on me for a couple of years because he'd seen me do a couple of shows at Simple Little Theater. And I was like, sure, like, let's talk or whatever. And so he's like, okay, come on. I want you to, he was directing the show. So, I mean, he could cast whoever he wanted. I didn't have to, I said, do you want me to audition for you? He's like, no, I've seen what you can do. Come on out. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, like, this is great. Finally, foot in the door for some professional work, right? But before that, like, I was just kind of stalled out. I had auditioned for him probably 6 years before that because he saw me do something and said, send me your stuff. So I did. Yeah. And made me go out to Toronto, went in front of Theatre Ontario, and it's like every theatre director from, I don't know, it's kind of everywhere across Ontario, from every major theatre across Ontario, and they sit there. And then you audition in front of all of them, and then if they want you, they pick you or whatever, right? And it went terribly. It was awful, completely awful. My headshot, lost it the night before, couldn't get a copy of it. The fellow who did it, his hard drive crashed, couldn't get a copy from him. Had to use a photo from the last community theater show that I did. My resume was atrocious. I didn't even know how to do an acting resume. It was terrible. They thought I was handing them, 5 copies of the same resume. No, my resume was 5 pages long. Gotta just keep it to one page. Yeah. Something I learned, so it was a learning process too. So I thought, oh man, I screwed this up. Like, it's never happening. Like, this is just what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. But then I got the call and went and did my first professional show last year called Stage Fright at the Lighthouse in Port Dover. So